Alright, so I'm working on the wiring for this trike, and it's been one time-consuming job. I mean, I've spent days on it, and it's bad enough that you have, electronics for the batteries and the controllers, but all this wiring and the switches and the lights has just been a complication. And so I've run wires through the frame to try and clean up the wires, and I was hoping to use this headlight enclosure because it's waterproof. This is made to be outdoor. It's an outdoor spotlight, and why they make it this big is there's no good reason for it, because here's the light, which I converted to an LED headlight, and it goes in there, and it's only that deep. It's only like, it only goes to right here. Yeah, sorry. It only goes to right here. So this entire back part of this thing is empty. So so I was planning to stick all the electronics in it, and I've got these waterproof conduit connections, and so I put those in there. But then I started to look at how much I got to put in here, and there's a lot of wires. We've got these wires. Let's see, I only really, I was thinking all I really have is this circuit board right here. But no, I also need this 5-volt power supply, DC to D, and this 24-volt power supply, or 12-volt, 24 to 12. So I have to stick all these in there, and then I have to put a relay in here too for the horn. And I started thinking, this has already been enough of a hassle. I want to make it easier. So I'm thinking, all right, I need another enclosure. And I actually have a bunch of these. These are outdoor. These are Seahorse boxes. There's another brand name that's more sort of the original, I guess, or more marketed. And I actually dug this out of my stash in the back, but wow, it's a lot bigger than I was just thinking it was. So I want to sort of put it right there. I mean, this thing even is a little big to be in the back. I mean, I could try and put all the circuit board and everything in the back, but for the most part all of the connections from these switches go into that processor board, so I wanted to just leave it on the front. Alright, so this not gonna work. And then I looked around for other things I got, and because I'm trying to do this cheap, and I didn't find anything. And of course, what I do have plenty of are these. But I think it would look weird to have this in the headlight and then have another one like up here. It would just look wrong. I might be able to like put one down here, although it would look like a light. Maybe I could cut this brim off, but I just didn't want to do that. I think that would look silly. But these are nice. These are super waterproof. We've got rubber sealing everywhere. So I went to Home Depot to see what I can get. I know they have outdoor boxes that are waterproof. And that's pretty much what this is. You know, it's an outdoor gang box, and it's got a cover, plastic cover with a gasket, and it goes on there. And you know, that's sort of a standard outdoor waterproof enclosure. I mean, if you look at other electronics, like the speed controllers, motor controllers, they're waterproof, but they don't really do a good job. These are really, you know, they need the aluminum to get the heat out. Here's the, you know, right here, right where those screws are, that's where the transistors are, so they screw right up against the aluminum so they can dissipate their heat. But they've got gaskets and on the end pieces, and they're not really very good, and you can get better ones, but they're expensive. You know, this at Home Depot cost me $7 for the box and $3 for the lid, so that's $10. And you know, in the overall scheme of things, if you're building something, that's not a big deal. But here we're trying to do it like almost free, so I got it. I'll probably just return it, although maybe I'll leave it and use it for something else, because apparently I don't have anything else sitting around here, so I'll have that sitting around. But another idea is to use these junctions, these conduit junction boxes, and because they're inexpensive, and they've got a gasket, and they're made for outdoors. Let me see what I got the receipt. I think this was $4, like 3 something, and you still have to seal off these ends, but you pretty much, if you want to improve the appearance, you probably cut this off and just epoxy something in here to seal off that. So you know, that's a good choice for, you know, $4, and it's probably big enough to put all my circuit boards and stuff in. But it doesn't look that great. I mean, it's okay. I think it would look better if it was right here. It still looks a little cheap. So yeah, I mean, because you can look at that and you know exactly what this is, and it's not supposed to be on a bike. So I mean, where this box, it just looks like a box, although you have the conduit connections, but they're sealed off, so, and they don't stick out like this one does. So this one looks, you know, better. So, and so the other option is these junction boxes for house wiring, and generally these are not made to be outdoors, so you can't really use them. I mean, they would work in the short term, but the plastic's gonna get brittle and crack. But this one is made out of fiberglass. It's not made out of plastic, so it should hold up. It's pretty thick too. It should hold up, and this was only $1. And of course, the problem is that it has these holes for the nails, and those holes have to be sealed up. But that's, you know, a little epoxy will stick right to them because it's fiberglass. So you probably just use regular polyester resin to seal those holes up. So just pull those nails out and seal it up. And then here's the blank cover, but there's no gasket, so I didn't find any kind of cover for these with gaskets, because they're not made to be out in the weather. You know, they make outdoor weather junction boxes, but they cost a lot. They don't cost $1. Maybe they cost $10. And this one was, you know, the cheapest one, because it's really not much to it. So the other, so I may just use this because it kind of fits right in here. You know, I'll take the nails out, but it'll kind of fit in there and it doesn't look too bad. Looks like a box, and you know, it's not bad. I think I might use it. It's way too big. I don't really need all that space, but I think I might just use this. But the other option, which I have used in the past, and is to make an outdoor UV, you know, sealed container, is to use ABS tubing, because ABS pipe, you know, will not degrade outside. And then you've got these caps that you can seal. I mean, I like using these internal. These are called test caps. I like using the internal ones so you don't have them going over the outside. But you could, you know, stick a little rubber in there. A rubber. You could put an O-ring on the outs around this. It'll fall down. You can put an O-ring here around here, so when you stick it in there, it seals it up. Or, I mean, this. Usually they stick in there pretty good. So, you know, this would go right here. You know, just cut it to be this length, and these are really cheap, or they used to be really cheap. I mean, I used to be able to get a 10-foot ABS pipe for like $5. And now they're $20. They're $20. $20 for a 2-inch ABS tube. You know. So I bought this. Well, this is 2 feet. They sell these little cut ones, which this 2-footer costs $9. So like, it's no longer, you know, these ends cost 75 cents, so it's $1, add $1.50. But and honestly, well, you could plug one end up without even using these if you really, you know, want to save 75 cents. But yeah, that's, I mean, that's not cheap. If you cut it in half and cut it in half, you know, $4.50, $2.50, you're getting to the $10 of this, or the $4 of this, and you're having to do work, and it looks like a pipe. So yeah, I mean, these pipes work really well, but they're not cheap anymore. So I'm still thinking of using it, but I haven't quite decided. This though, I think is probably the best way to go. In fact, maybe I put it in upside down so it doesn't rain on the screws. But I'm gonna need to make a gasket for this, so that's work. But it only costs $1, so. Alright, well, I'm rambling on, but those are some of the options to do in an outdoor enclosure for electronics. Hope that helps somebody.